Chapters 1 to 5, Book 18, Volume 2 of the Morte d'Arthur. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Nathan at antipodeanwriter.wordpress.com. Le Morte d'Arthur, Volume 2, by Sir Thomas Malory. Chapter 1. Of the joy King Arthur and the Queen had of the achievement of the Sangreal, and how Launcelot fell to his old love again. So after the quest of the Sangreal was fulfilled, and all knights that were left alive were come again unto the Table Round, as the book of the Sangreal maketh mention, then there was great joy in the court, and in especial King Arthur and Queen Guinevere made great joy of that remnant that were come home, and passing glad was the king and the queen of Sir Launcelot and of Sir Bors, for they had been passing long away in the quest of the Sangreal. Then, as the book saith, Sir Launcelot began to resort unto Queen Guinevere again, and forgat the promise and the perfection that he made in the quest. For, as the book saith, had not Sir Launcelot been in his privy thoughts and in his mind so set inwardly to the queen, as he was in seeming outward to God, there had no knight passed him in the quest of the Sangreal, but ever his thoughts were privily on the queen, and so they loved together more hotter than they did toforehand, and had such privy draughts together that many in the court spake of it, and in especial Sir Agravaine, Sir Gawaine's brother, for he was ever open-mouthed. So befell that Sir Launcelot had many resorts of ladies and damsels that daily resorted unto him, that besought him to be their champion, and in all such matters of right Sir Launcelot applied him daily to do for the pleasure of our Lord Jesu Christ. And ever as much as he might he withdrew him from the company and fellowship of Queen Guinevere, for to eschew the slander and noise, wherefore the queen waxed wroth with Sir Launcelot. And upon a day she called Sir Launcelot unto her chamber, and said thus: Sir Launcelot, I see and feel daily that thy love beginneth to slake, for thou hast no joy to be in my presence, but ever thou art out of this court, and quarrels and matters thou hast nowadays for ladies and gentlewomen, more than ever thou wert wont to have aforehand. Ah, madam, said Launcelot, in this ye must hold me excused for divers causes. One is, I was but late in the quest of the Sangreal, and I thank God of his great mercy, and never of my desert, that I saw in that my quest as much as ever saw any sinful man, and so was it told me. And if I had not had my privy thoughts to return to your love again as I do, I had seen as great mysteries as ever saw my son Galahad, either Perceval or Sir Bors, and therefore, madam, I was but late in that quest. Wit ye well, madam, it may not be yet lightly forgotten the high service in whom I did my diligent labour. Also, madam, wit ye well that there may be many men speak of our love in this court, and have you and me greatly in await, as Sir Agravaine and Sir Mordred, and, madam, wit ye well I dread them more for your sake than for any fear I have of them myself. For I may happen to escape and rid myself in a great need, where ye must abide all that will be said unto you, and then, if that ye fall in any distress through wilful folly, then is there none other remedy or help but by me and my blood. And wit ye well, madam, the boldness of you and me will bring us to great shame and slander, and that were me loath to see you dishonoured, and that is the cause I take upon me more for to do for damsels and maidens than ever I did tofore, that men should understand my joy and my delight is my pleasure to have ado for damsels and maidens. Chapter 2. How the queen commanded Sir Launcelot to avoid the court, and of the sorrow that Launcelot made. All this while the queen stood still, and let Sir Launcelot say what he would. And when he had all said, she brast out a weeping, and so she sobbed and wept a great while. And when she might speak, she said, Launcelot, Now I well understand that thou art a false recreant knight, and a common lecher, and lovest and holdest other ladies, and by me thou hast disdain and scorn. For wit thou well, she said, now I understand thy falsehood, and therefore shall I never love thee no more. And never be thou so hardy to come in my sight, and right here I discharge thee this court, that thou never come within it, and I forfend thee my fellowship, and upon pain of thy head, that thou see me no more. Right so Sir Launcelot departed with great heaviness, that unnethe he might sustain himself for great dole making. Then he called Sir Bors, Sir Ector de Maris, and Sir Lionel, and told them how the queen had forfended him the court, and so he was in will to depart into his own country. Fair sir, said Sir Bors de Ganis, you shall not depart out of this land by mine advice. Ye must remember in what honour ye are renowned, and called the noblest knight of the world, and many great matters ye have in hand, and women in their hastiness will do oft times that sore repenteth them, and therefore by mine advice ye shall take your horse, and ride to the good hermitage here beside Windsor, that sometime was a good knight, his name is Sir Brasius, and there shall ye abide till I send you word of better tidings. Brother, said Sir Launcelot, wit ye well I am full loath to depart out of this realm, but the queen hath defended me so highly, that meseemeth she will never be my good lady as she hath been. Say ye never so, said Sir Bors, for many times or this time she hath been wroth with you, and after it she was the first that repented it. Ye say well, said Launcelot, for now will I do by your counsel, and take mine horse and my harness, and ride to the hermit Sir Brasius, and there will I repose me until I hear some manner of tidings from you. But, fair brother, I pray you get me the love of my lady, Sir Guenever. And ye may, sir, said Sir Bors, you need not to move me of such matters, for well ye wot I will do what I may to please you. And then the noble knight, Sir Launcelot, departed with right heavy cheer suddenly, that none earthly creature wist of him, nor where he was become, but Sir Bors. So when Sir Launcelot was departed, the queen outward made no manner of sorrow in showing to none of his blood, nor to none other. But wit ye well, inwardly, as the book saith, she took great thought, but she bare it out with a proud countenance, as though she felt nothing nor danger. Chapter 3. How at a dinner that the queen made there was a knight enpoisoned, which Sir Mador laid on the queen. And then the queen let make a privy dinner in London unto the knights of the Round Table, and all was for to show outward that she had as great joy in all other knights of the Table Round as she had in Sir Launcelot. All only at that dinner she had Sir Gawaine and his brethren, that is for to say, Sir Agravaine, Sir Gaheris, Sir Gareth, and Sir Mordred. Also there was Sir Bors de Ganis, Sir Blamore de Ganis, Sir Bleoberis de Ganis, Sir Galihud, Sir Galihodin, Sir Ector de Maris, Sir Lionel, Sir Palomides, Sir Frere his brother, Sir Lacote Maltal, Sir Persant, Sir Ironside, Sir Brandiles, Sir Kay le Seneschal, Sir Mador de la Porte, Sir Patrice, a knight of Ireland, Aliduc, Sir Astamore, and Sir Pinel le Savage, the which was cousin to Sir Lamorak de Galis, the good knight that Sir Gawaine and his brethren slew by treason. And so these 24 knights should dine with the queen in a privy place by themselves, and there was made a great feast of all manner of dainties. But Sir Gawaine had a custom that he used daily at dinner and at supper, that he loved well all manner of fruit, and in especial apples and pears, and therefore whomsoever dined or feasted Sir Gawaine would commonly purvey for good fruit for him, and so did the queen for to please Sir Gawaine. She let purvey for him all manner of fruit, for Sir Gawaine was a passing hot knight of nature. And this Panel hated Sir Gawaine because of his kinsman Sir Lamorak de Galis, and therefore for pure envy and hate Sir Pinel empoisoned certain apples for to empoison Sir Gawaine. And so this was well unto the end of the meat. And so it befell by misfortune a good knight named Patrice, cousin unto Sir Mador de la Porte, to take a poisoned apple. And when he had eaten it, he swelled so till he brast, and there Sir Patrice fell down suddenly dead among them. Then every knight leapt from the board ashamed, and araged for wrath, nigh out of their wits, for they wist not what to say. Considering Queen Guenever made the feast and dinner, they all had suspicion unto her. My lady the queen, said Gawaine, wit ye well, madam, that this dinner was made for me, for all folks that know my condition understand that I love well fruit, and now I see well I had near been slain. Therefore, madam, I dread me lest ye will be shamed. Then the queen stood still, and was sore abashed, that she nist not what to say. This shall not so be ended, said Sir Mador de la Porte, for here have I lost a full noble knight of my blood, and therefore upon this shame and despite I will be revenged to the utterance. And there openly Sir Mador appealed the queen of the death of his cousin Sir Patrice. Then stood they all still, that none would speak a word against him, for they all had great suspicion unto the queen, because she let make that dinner. And the queen was so abashed, that she could none other ways do, but wept so heartily that she fell in a swoon. With this noise and cry came to them King Arthur, and when he wist of that trouble, he was a passing heavy man. Chapter 4. How Sir Mador appeached the queen of treason, and there was no knight would fight for her at the first time. And ever Sir Mador stood still afore the king, and ever he appealed the queen of treason, for the custom was such that time that all manner of shameful death was called treason. Fair lords, said King Arthur, he repenteth of this trouble, but the case is so I may not have ado in this matter, for I must be a rightful judge, and that repenteth me that I may not do battle for my wife. For as I deem this deed came never by her, and therefore, I suppose, she shall not be all disdained, but that some good knight shall put his body in jeopardy for my queen rather than she shall be brent in a wrong quarrel. And therefore, Sir Mador, be not so hasty, for it may happen she shall not be all friendless, and therefore desire thou thy day of battle, and she shall purvey her of some good knight that shall answer you, or else it were to me great shame, and to all my court. My gracious lord, said Sir Mador, ye must hold me excused, for though ye be our king in that degree, ye are but a knight as we are, and ye are sworn unto knighthood as well as we, and therefore I beseech you that ye be not displeased. For there is none of the 24 knights that were bidden to this dinner, but all they have great suspicion unto the queen. What say ye all, my lords? Said Sir Mador. Then they answered by and by that they could not excuse the queen, for why she made the dinner, and either it must come by her or by her servants. Alas, said the queen, I made this dinner for a good intent, and never for none evil, so Almighty God me help in my right, as I was never purposed to do such evil deeds, and that I report me unto God. My lord the king, said Sir Mador, I require you, as ye be a righteous king, give me a day that I may have justice. Well, said the king, I give the day this day 15 days, that thou be ready armed on horseback in the meadow beside Westminster. And if it so fall that there be any knight to encounter with you, there mayst thou do the best, and God speed the right. And if it so fall that there be no knight at that day, then must my queen be burnt, and therefore she shall be ready to have her judgment. I am answered, said Sir Mador, and every knight went where it liked them. So when the king and the queen were together, the king asked the queen how this case befell. The queen answered, So God me help, I wot not how or in what manner. Where is Sir Launcelot? Said King Arthur, an he were here he would not grudge to do battle for you. Sir, said the queen, I wot not where he is, but his brother and his kinsmen deem that he be not within this realm. That me repenteth, said King Arthur, for an he were here he would soon stint this strife. Then I will counsel you, said the king, and unto Sir Bors, that ye will do battle for her for Sir Launcelot's sake, and upon my life he will not refuse you. For well I see, said the king, that none of these 24 knights that were with you at your dinner, where Sir Patrice was slain, that will do battle for you, nor none of them will say well of you, and that shall be a great slander for you in this court. Alas, said the queen, and I may not do withal, but now I miss Sir Launcelot. For an he were here, he would put me soon to my heart's ease. What aileth you? Said the king. Ye cannot keep Sir Launcelot upon your side. For wit ye well, said the king, who that hath Sir Launcelot upon his part hath the most man of worship in the world upon his side. Now go your way, said the king unto the queen, and require Sir Bors to do battle for you, for Sir Launcelot's sake. Chapter 5. How the queen required Sir Bors to fight for her, and how he granted upon condition, and how he warned Sir Launcelot thereof. So the queen departed from the king, and sent for Sir Bors into her chamber, and when he was come she besought him of succour. Madam, said he, what would ye that I did? For I may not with my worship have ado in this matter, because I was at the same dinner, for dread that any of those knights would have me in suspicion. Also, madam, said Sir Bors, now miss ye Sir Launcelot, for he would not have failed you neither in right nor in wrong, as ye have well proved when ye have been in danger, and now ye have driven him out of this country, by whom ye and all we were daily worshipped by. Therefore, madam, I marvel how ye dare for shame require me to do anything for you, insomuch ye have chased him out of your country, by whom we were born up and honoured. Alas, fair knight, said the queen, I put me wholly in your grace, and all that is done amiss I will amend as ye will counsel me. And therewith she kneeled down upon both her knees, and besought Sir Bors to have mercy upon her. Outher I shall have a shameful death, and thereto I had never offended. Right so came King Arthur, and found the queen kneeling afore Sir Bors. Then Sir Bors pulled her up, and said, Madam, ye do me great dishonour. Ah, gentle knight, said the king, have mercy upon my queen, courteous knight, for I am now in certain she is untruly defamed. And therefore, courteous knight, said the king, promise her to do battle for her. I will require you for the love of Sir Launcelot. My lord, said Sir Bors, ye require me the greatest thing that any man may require me, and wit ye well if I grant to do battle for the queen, I shall wrath many of my fellowship of the Table Round. But as for that, said Sir Bors, I will grant my lord that for my lord Sir Launcelot's sake, and for your sake I will at that day be the queen's champion, unless that there come by adventure a better knight than I am to do battle for her. Will you promise me this, said the king, by your faith? Yea, sir, said Sir Bors, of that I will not fail you, nor her both, but if there come a better knight than I am, and then shall he have the battle. Then was the king and the queen passing glad, and so departed, and thanked him heartily. So then Sir Bors departed secretly upon a day, and rode unto Sir Launcelot, thereas he was with the hermit Sir Brasius, and told him of all their adventure. Ah, Jesu, said Sir Launcelot, this is come happily as I would have it, and therefore I pray you make you ready to do battle, but look that ye tarry till ye see me come, as long as ye may. For I am sure Mador is an hot knight when he is enchafed, for the more ye suffer him the hastier will he be to battle. Sir, said Bors, let me deal with him, doubt ye not ye shall have all you will. Then departed Sir Bors from him, and came to the court again. Then was it noised in all the court that Sir Bors should do battle for the queen. Wherefore many knights were displeased with him, that he would take upon him to do battle in the queen's quarrel, for there were but few knights in all the court that they deemed the queen was in the wrong, and that she had done that treason. So Sir Bors answered thus to his fellows of the Table Round, Wit ye well, my fair lords, it were shame to us all an we suffered to see the most noble queen of the world to be shamed openly, considering her lord and our lord is the man of most worship in the world, and most christened, and he hath ever worshipped us all in all places. Many answered him again, As for our most noble King Arthur, we love him and honour him as well as ye do. But as for Queen Guenever, we love her not, because she is a destroyer of good knights. Fair lords, said Sir Bors, meseemeth ye say not as ye should say, for never yet in my days knew I never nor heard say that ever she was a destroyer of any good knight. But at all times, as far as ever I could know, she was a maintainer of good knights, and ever she hath been large and free of her goods to all good knights, and the most bounteous lady of her gifts and her good grace that ever I saw or heard speak of. And therefore it were shame, said Sir Bors, to us all, to our most noble king's wife, and we suffered her to be shamefully slain. And wit ye well, said Sir Bors, I will not suffer it, for I dare say so much, the queen is not guilty of Sir Patrise's death, for she owed him never none ill will, nor none of the 24 knights that were at that dinner. For I dare say for good love she bade us to dinner, and not for no mal engine, and that I doubt not shall be proved hereafter, for howsoever the game goeth, there was treason among us. Then some said to Sir Bors, We may well believe your words. And so some of them were well pleased, and some were not so. End of Book 18, chapters 1 to 5. Recorded by Nathan at antipodeanwriter.wordpress.com.